Hello everybody and welcome to the face reading of the people in the news. Today we'll do morphological reading of the Prime Minister of India. There are actually two reasons why I decided to do a reading on him. First, simply because one of my subscribers is from India and asked me to do it. And the second, I realized that people from India are my second largest viewership, one after the United States, then follow Canadians, United Kingdom, Germany, Australia, and so on. So, Modi Narendra, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I pronounce his name correctly. We start as usual with the face, that is, with Prime Minister's personality. What do you think it is? It looks like it could be a Jupiter, and then it could be Mars as well. And remember, when we say that someone looks like both personalities, more than likely a person has the characteristics of both. First, let's see why I'm talking about Jupiter when the face really looks quite rectangular. Here is why. Though you do not see a clear trapezoid, like on the diagram, the jaw being significantly wider than the forehead, you can see a broad Jupiterian forehead with its roundness on the sides, not the Mars forehead which is quite square. And the jaws, though only little see the blue lines, but still are wider than the forehead. Maybe this will help. You can see that the lower arrows are a little wider than the upper ones, right? So we have an emerging Jupiter, if you wish. Here, for your practice, are few known people who are Jupiter. Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the president of Egypt, is a pure Jupiter. Winston Churchill was a Jupiter. And Ernest Hemingway, just as Modi Narendra was an emerging Jupiter. At a young age, he was a Mars. But on this picture, we see he's already morphing into a Jupiter. So what do we know about the Jupiter personality? They are as consistent and reliable as they come. They're the least to be discouraged of all personalities. If they believe something is right, it does not matter how many people think otherwise. They stick to their truth. Their religiosity and or moral values can help them to stay on course, even when the going gets rough. And they always retain their usual benevolence and generosity. The only time the Jupiter lose their composure is when they perceive an injustice. Then they become, or may become, authoritarian, moralistic, and self-righteous. Sometimes they're called moral police of the world. They're good teachers and leaders. But remember, we can also see some Mars appearance in Narendra's face. So, as Mars, he is also action-oriented, he may be impatient, though his impatience more than likely is tamed by his Jupiter will and commitment to justice. He does have an impulse to fight rather than negotiate, but again, it may be overridden by his Jupiter part of being a visionary and the will to choose that which is most beneficial for his cause. But for a leader to have that fighting spirit, even if it is unexpressed, I believe is a great asset. So my take on this conflict between Mars and Jupiter within Narendra's personality is that the conflict is more intrapersonal rather than outwardly explicit. And most people do not see this inner struggle, but I think those close to him know this about Narendra. So now let's do what is called left face, right face analysis. I have done this in other readings. We put together two left sides and two right sides of the face. The two left sides simulations show us where the person came from, his, her mental and emotional past, and the two right sides are associated with the present and the potential for the future. So what do we see here? Frankly, morphologically, his two left sides still look, to me, no different from the real photo. Yet the picture honestly reminds me of a clown, the two left sides. Look at how striking is the difference between the two left sides and the two right sides. Two left sides, what you see? Kind, a little naive, sweet, but still a clown to me. The two right sides, you see calm, a person who is calm, deep thinker, wise, firm, and a visionary. And that's what you have in the Prime Minister of the now, the person you know now, the person who is the leader of your country. And now and the potential for the future. Look, forgive my ignorance, but I do not know Indian politics. I do know whether the man is morphologically fit to be a leader. But I really do not know what you know because you live in the country, so you have first-hand experience. I can only tell you that from morphological perspective, you could not find a person with more appropriate personality to be a prime minister. And finally, let's look at Narendra's temperament, which, as you know, is embodied in his profile. So what do you see? The jaw line goes down at the 90 degrees angle, and the chin is protruding forward. Here, on this picture, you can see it clearly. But the forehead, though tilted back, is roundish. So we have a sanguine, the jaw and the chin, physical energy, and the impulse to action. And we have a bilious forehead, that is, the intellect is clearly bilious. But is it all? If you look at this picture, you can see a nervous cast. And I looked at other pictures you can see the same as well. So the Prime Minister is a sanguine with a bilious forehead and a nervous cast. What does it all mean? It means that the Prime Minister is willful, organized, and deliberate in his thinking and planning. And he is committed to seeing things through to every little detail. All that are his bilious qualities. After having made his bilious calculations and decisions, as a sanguine, he is able and willing to delegate the implementation of many of his ideas to others. As a sanguine, he can act with elegance and grace when needed. Or, remember his nervous cast, he can put pressure, yield, or appease or negotiate, or to do actually whatever is necessary to achieve his bilious vision. That's the influence of the nervous cast. Remember, it's a diplomat and possibly even a trickster. His Jupiter personality, remember personality is persona, the mask, only helps his bilious stubbornness and his sanguine kingship to act with greater patience, understanding, and care for justice and good for all. And that is all for Modi Narendra. Oh yes, a quick reminder, if you were with me today for the first time and got interested in the subject of face reading, you can watch on the YouTube my introduction to face reading and face reading 101, part 1, part 2. And also please click subscribe if you want to receive notifications every time I post a new video. Thanks for being with me today. Peace to all.